What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is the Blizzard King with King's Critiques, depending on the platform you're watching and when you're watching, whatever. And we're back with Bad Girl, starring with, apologies for the air conditioner if you end up hearing it, because it's running right now, because I don't know about other New Yorkers, but the city I live in has zero clue how to fucking handle weather, because my computer says it's like 63 right now outside. And my room is hot as balls because my air conditioner, before I turned it on fully, said it was 75. So I'm just sitting here like, bruh. Because I started sweating at the last, at the end of the last thing I recorded. What that is, doesn't matter because I don't know when the fuck I'm getting anything out at this point. It used to be a pretty set schedule, and then, the red guys, the big old cuckolds went. So we'll see how any of that goes, but that's why I'm not getting with the big caveat like I usually do about they may or may not, because I hate it. But let's get with the other usual caveats of number one, being if you have any kind of thought about the show or whatever that enters your mind about something in the episode or that I say or do or whatever it might be, I'll always encourage you to drop below a comment because it's helpful to the algorithm regardless of where you're watching, except for maybe the orange guys because that's a pay thing, but whatever. As well as it's always helpful to let the video run through a little bit, the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, or whatever the equivalent might be. And that being said, let's get into the episode, shall we? And we are actually kicking back off where the last episode ended. Because, yeah, the bus left and poor Yuu and Atori got left behind. But that only means they can travel together. L. Leaving your phone behind on public transportation is never a good idea, especially if you're, like, not at your last stop. Because that bus could just keep going without you, and then your phone's gone. Now, luckily, maybe one of her classmates will see it and go, oh, hey, that's Yu's phone. I should probably grab that. She went to take a nap. I'm gonna say no. Honestly, I think the term to use for any relationship in the show could be called adorkable. Because every single person in this potential poly thing, while smart in some ways, are airheaded in many other ways. Primarily these two. Because, Rue is a dumbass, but at least she has some thought process up there on occasion. Suzu, probably the smartest one of all of them, honestly. The blue-haired snake-like girl who is Atori's friend and is another love interest of her. She is a very smart woman, but also is too memey for her own good. So, oh, and let's not forget Atori's sister, mind you, who also is kind of like the blue-haired one, where she's very smart in a lot of ways, but overcomplicates things. Yeah, that actually does suck. That's why people are supposed to maintain clocks being the correct timing, because shit like that can happen. But, that's also why analog clocks are not as good as actual clocks that are attached to the universal time. Okay, well, the regional time. Because, analog clocks fall behind very easily, especially when it comes to daylight savings. Which, when that happens next month, I gotta remember to keep our analog clock in the living room up to date. Because we only have one analog in the whole goddamn house, but... Actually, that's another thing. There are devices where you got manually set the time where it doesn't make sense, digital clocks that you still gotta manually change, that makes sense, microwaves, ovens, whatever. But car clocks should change automatically and always be the correct time. But we gotta change our vehicle's clock manually when daylight savings and stuff happens. And that usually ends up like throwing the time off by anywhere between 30 to 90 seconds. So why can't it just like click with the time as it is? Because it can connect with radio signals to radio stations. So why can't it click, with the internet, with Bluetooth, specifically Bluetooth? Because if you can connect to a phone, doesn't that mean you could connect to the phone and know what time it is? Anyway, that has been my rant. Digital clocks are better, but sometimes even digital clocks, if they need analog changing, can Ligma. Ligma what? Steve Jobs. Yeah, that would be an awkward thing to have to answer. Oh, why were you over there anyway? Because I was looking for you. Okay, well, that explains why her scent disappeared near the treetop. But also, does she literally have that bad of ADHD where she was in the middle of, doing her class assignment, probably talking to friends, and then she just saw a butterfly going by like, ooh, and just walked off? Actually, yeah, from what we know of her, that's actually seeming pretty canon. Never mind. Even though you weren't referring to the butterflies, but hey, if it's what Atori was fascinated in, cool, you was happy to listen. No, you just transitioned from going to camp to butterfly catching. And you know what? That's fine. At least it's like kind of a side date, not an intentional one, mind you, but yeah, now that she's thinking on it a little bit more, you didn't realize it to begin with because you were worried about, oh no, the bus left us behind. Well, anyway, I'm gonna rewind to what you was thinking about so I can talk about that before getting on whatever craziness she's thinking of. Because, like, she doesn't realize how correct she is, but for the wrong reasons. Because I'm pretty sure Tori might be into you a little bit. Maybe she's into Suzu too, just for the sake of fucking with her, but on that end, it's still kind of confusing, but there's definitely mutual attraction of some kind. Maybe it's not quite in that way yet, but it could be. Now, as for wherever the hell Atori was about to go with that, I'm kind of scared. And where's her thought process leading? Going off on something that happened last summer, huh? Now, do I know what you did last summer? But I spelled as in, like, AI, because it could be someone in there. Get it? Not like the right. Actually, I can't even say you're too young to remember that because the newest version of that franchise literally came out like a month or two ago. And I went to see it. Very good movie. I really should do react or some sort of like summary or I should do videos based on all those old horror movies. This is a reaction channel or review channel. I don't have to just do anime. It's just mostly anime. Thought provoking. So you have a regular habit of losing your phone and wallet. Understood. Trying to call Suzu, meanwhile, she's playing cards with people. Probably happy she doesn't have to be bothered by you for once. And her sister is acting in the same exact fashion you was. That makes sense. And here's the time where both of them think of some crazy reasoning nobody is answering the phone, right? As is typical comedic fashion. Actually, that's the most realistic answer she could have came up with. Okay, now I'm going to use this sentence again because it is, like, pretty on the spot. If they were in America, that would be the worst kind of thing to wear. Well, at least if the actual English words were on the shirt as opposed to Japanese characters. Because listen, two hot teenage girls wearing shirts like that in America would go so wrong. Am I saying that there's a lot more perverts and fucked up people in America than Japan? Yes. Yes, I am. Is anyone on the planet, other than maybe the people that are potentially those type of people themselves, going to, fight me on that? No. Because, statistically, pretty sure. Oh, okay. I can't go that deep into that cut about that. Because maybe kidnappings do happen more in Japan. Now, kidnappings with attached things to them, that's a whole different story. But kidnappings in general that, aren't just one-sided, also a different story. So I'm not going to go that deep into that and make those assumptions. The assumption I will make, though, is the obvious. America is definitely a lot more risky for, women to wear those types of shirts looking like that, because they'd get picked up. If they'd be dropped off in the right place, entirely different. The fact they waited a whole hour, though, is more surprising, because you would have thought some, business guy who falls into that American stereotype I was making, but also it's kind of a 50-50 on if there's other intentions or just being a genuine nice guy, which is better than you get here, honestly. I think feel our pain might be threatening, but at least you're more likely to get picked up by somebody who's freaky in the less threatening kind of way. Because listen, if you pick up two hot girls that have shirts that say feel our pain on them, at least that's less likely that the person picking them is going to do weird stuff of that nature to them. Might they be the type to look at the girls and be like, can I feel your pain? Just very creepily. I could kind of believe that to be a thing. And I will admit I might be the based one to be in that mindset more than the opposite, because... Hey, listen. Okay, it's happened twice now at least, so I kind of think the artist knows what they're doing intentionally with that. Why was Yu's first suggestion to make Atori... I actually don't have a specific word in mind. I don't feel like I need to say a specific word, because the question is obvious. Why was the suggestion to make her look, hotter than normal? Is it to make her look more adult-like, so maybe she can, carry on a conversation with somebody to borrow their phone to not spend more money, or... Actually, yeah, you know what? That kind of works better for hitchhiking than the shirts, because the shirts can lead to questionable desires. That is just a hot woman standing there, and someone very well might approach and be like, hey, need a ride? Because... Or was this just for Yu's own perversions? Because... her thought process of people, coming up to her was correct. But can we just, get a rundown of the people? Because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I think I see 8 women. 7... Yeah, 8 women. The little girl. 2 dogs? Or is the other one down there like a raccoon? You also have a horse, or is that a pony? I think that's a penguin over there near the ghost girl? A dragonfly, a butterfly, and Cupid. Honestly, by this point, I'm kind of thinking, did the writers of Bad Girl see Watanabe, and go... Because I kind of think that sort of thing might have happened. We can make something similar. Don't commit all the way, but commit enough. And they've definitely committed enough. And yes, I say wrote because I'm not, doing the anime, assumption, because obviously I'm watching the anime, but I know both existed in manga format first, 99% of things. Because I'm pretty sure that's the kind of glowing radiance that Mai had about her. Though in this show it is also a little more apparent than in that case, because in the other case, Mai is an actual model. In this case, it's just Atori has some magnetism about her that a lot of people like. We saw it from that group of kindergartners. We see it from you and the blue-haired girl. We see it from this. Okay, well, 2 things. One, shouldn't somebody have done a scan of the bus, and if they found the phones there, they should have assumed that, the students are not where they're supposed to be? And for two, and this is probably my basest take, I might have mentioned it already, I might not, I don't know, but, the teacher is kind of a baddie. Did they take the horse? Did they ride the horse? They took the fucking horse! Oh no, they took everything. Like, where'd the cat come from in this? Where'd the helicopter? What the fuck? Where'd the bird come from? Where did half of these things come from? Also, can we just... their dumbass fucking expressions on the back of that horse, though. Like, they kind of look like me characters. And, again, praise to the artist, because two of the hottest girls in the show reduced to me characters, just for the bit. And, honestly... Well, if you dumbasses had answered your phones... What are you apologizing for? They left without you and nobody stopped them. Like, I understand the worry, and very good to have a friend and SysCon respectively, care for the both of them that they came back. But can we also just go the fact that if they cared that much... Okay, actually in Suzu's case, she was like not on the same bus as you, and... actually I can't... Never mind. I mean, granted, I can say that for the minor characters. The minor characters could have, at least noticed Atori was gone and been like, hey, bus driver, we're kind of missing somebody important. Because I won't say that, somebody would have noticed Yuu is gone because she was trying to cut herself off from the rest of the group intentionally, just like Atori's sister was the whole time. But you'd think somebody would have noticed Atori not on the bus and went, we are missing a certain presidential redhead. We might want to go back. And meanwhile, Atori asking Suzu's opinion if she was trying to find Atori, and... Yeah, that's the kind of jealous remark I was thinking that would be made. Well, many, many reasons for that. Yeah, like the horde of people that were probably jealous of the opportunity you got to be alone with Atori. Okay, how the fuck can either of them be blamed? Like, yeah, they both had ADHD moments and that got them lost. But who's really to blame? Them who have ADHD, or the bus drivers that didn't give a single fuck to check if they were on board? Because, when you're on a school trip, aren't bus drivers supposed to have, a list of people and go through them before they go on? So, honestly, the bus driver should be given the shit for that one, some sort of scolding or write-up or something. Because they are only at fault for not paying attention to jack shit around them. Actually, double so, based on the clock conversation, the people that were, in charge at the rest stop to make sure the clocks are up to date are also to blame. A lot of things can, have accountability issues and people not admitting to their own faults, but their only fault are being spaced cadets. The bus driver and the people that were in charge of changing the clocks, they're more to blame. Yeah, we're going to do it again sometime, but badder. Oh, bless Yu's gay little heart. I think Atori is shattering her very being right now. Hey, what'd you just stick inside Yu's pocket? As I said, she just fucking ascended. Oh, fan service moment. Neat. Yeah, last episode, I stick by my statement. The end of episode picture was what I was expecting in this thing's place. Not like this is bad, mind you. They're adorable in their little get-ups, but... Okay, the episode's titled, or the part of the episode's titled Another Mountain, so I wonder if it's gonna be, many mountains. You're spending so much time fantasizing about seeing Atori naked, you ran into the wall, and that's your fault. See, you say that, but knowing how things go, she might try to join you anyway, totally, with the excuse of to help her sister if she needs anything, not to, get a look at you. Bitch really just have the thought to wait in the bath the entire time. Listen here, you. But also... Also, why is the devil on her shoulder, like, bigger size aside? Kind of remind me of the darker-haired demon girl from Gabriel Dropout. Which, by the way, that's another one of those, like, Yuri undertone shows that I totally would love to see another season of. Because the first season ended like it looked like it could have gotten a second season, and I was so here for it, and it never did, and I was like, oh man. Aren't you the devil on the shoulder? I didn't even read the subtitles when I was going on my little talk there, but aren't you the one that's supposed to be, like, on the bad side of things? Like, yeah. Also, quick comment, and since this is on the Patreon side more so, might be on the other side, but this censorship is the proper censorship. This right here is proper censorship when it's necessary. You know, this is not an 18 plus rated anime, therefore it makes sense that there's something covering it. And it's not like it's a giant, obnoxious fucking sticker plastered on the middle of her body, making things look unattractive. You know, it's steam from the bath. It makes logical sense. You know, which is the only time censorship should happen. And here's a neat part in addition to that. This is on High Dive that sometimes understands, you know, the good way to do it, but then other times it doesn't. Take, for instance, Yandere Dark Elf. Came out not too long ago, mind you, but you'd think, hey, it's, you know, rated for 18 and above, I'm pretty sure, or at least NC-17. You know, it's still in the anime sphere, but it still shows things, or at least it's supposed to, like shows like High School DxD. But unlike High School DxD, which, you know, is still showing the goods on Crunchyroll of all places, Yandere Dark Elf and other things like it that came out around the same period that aren't available on High Dive necessarily, but are other places, wink wink nudge nudge, are censored with the dumb version of censorship because there's not supposed to be censorship, so it's done in a dumb way. I'm not talking about like the Nukitashi whatever that's just like, it seems like it's good in, you know, full context, but the like 4 levels of censorship right now for it are fucking stupid as hell. You know, anyway, back to my main point of Yandere Dark Elf just plastered basically those kind of lights just over the, you know, nipple. Why do we gotta censor nipples? Like, it's supposed to be an adult anime. Just show the fucking titty, man. What the hell? And, like, doubly so, it's one of those things where, like, it's perfectly fine if the, like, woman being shown in full disclosure of that case is an adult. You know? Not all anime are in that case. Yes, I will be honest about that. There are a lot of, you know, adult, as far as anywhere outside the United States is concerned, women being on display. But at least in the case of things like Yandere Dark Elf, you know, Maki-na-san is a blank bot, High School DxD, the Sister Testament, Do Neville, whatever, all those women are definitely over the age of hiding them. So in this case, I get it. It's done correctly. You know, it's tasteful, it's fine. But, like, why does something like Dark Elf have to be censored? That's dumb, that's ignorant. I get Nukitashi being censored to a point because it's basically H content, but why don't you just make it H content? And hopefully, unlike another example I'm about to give before I quit this rant, Akashi Triangle, which I was so invested in the idea of, I love the idea of it. Camphor is basically the same thing, and there's a difference here in between the two. You know, Camphor still didn't finish all of it, intend on going back to it. Pretty sure they displayed, you know, stuff intentionally. Akashi Triangle slapped on that giant dumbass fucking sticker to give censorship. I don't know if the official Blu-ray ever released and gave an uncensored version. If you see this, let me know, because high key, honestly, it's still one of those things that bug me to today, that I could not watch what looked like it could have been a good, fun show because of the dipshit censorship. And don't get me wrong, the censorship thing and not being able to see boobs is not the thing that I'm the most pissed about. Clearly, I don't mind it in this instance, and that's the thing. I don't mind it in this instance because it's censored properly. You know, Hyperdimension Neptunia is one of those examples where they broke the fourth wall and literally said, I brought up the question of, what are these random beams of light anyway? Oh, they're brought in by the network to cover up the goods so they can keep a certain rating. Why didn't they just do that for Akashi Triangle, you know? Or like some sort of mist that could be explained for this or that reason. Just do censorship better. Censorship is getting insane, and that was my main point. Like, Dark Elf should be showing the things it should be showing, but instead High Dive decided to, well, essentially cuck people. Just like any social media post, if you read enough into social media, you could see something like retweeted, reposted, whatever, and there will be words cut out of it. And then you look to find the original post, and those words aren't even anything serious. And you just look at, like, why are these words censored? It makes no sense. Like, there are verbs and adjectives being censored nowadays, and that's just the fucking stupidest thing. Like, honestly, and maybe that's why YouTube hates me so much, is because I'm unfiltered, uncensored, so they feel the need to punish me for some reason. And yes, I did just go over that entire conversation on a portion of the video that is censored properly, making my point. Anyway, I should finish this recording. I'm starting to get hungry again because that bag earlier sucked. Yeah. Anyway. Sleeping in a hot spring behind a boulder does not seem like the best idea. I don't think that's a perfect plan. Especially because her sister's probably already behind that boulder. What the fuck did I just say? They know what they're both up to. They're not even going to fight with each other. They both know what they're up to. And they're probably both red as can be, right? Oh, not yet. Not yet. No. Do either of you think that anyone's giving up? What? No, that's crazy. You're planning on doing the same thing, aren't you? Right. Why is Mizu... Like, doesn't she always get to bathe with her sister in that fashion? Which, again, weird ciscon stuff. My exact feelings on it, we don't need to talk about, but still, doesn't she get to do that regularly anyway? See, again, we go back to the convenient and logical censorship. You know, they don't just slap the logo over top of the titties. They're using the steam of the bath as a good excuse to censor it. Oh no, all the effort she's trying to give to getting you out is not helping her case. Oh, plus the tops of her ears are redding. And she's out. And yes, I'm going to be openly perverse onto this statement and say, number one, honestly, for the little sister, she ain't that little. Anyway, a serious topic though. At least you was a good enough friend to, like, get her out of the water, which also may have earned her some good graces with Atori. One, you're making the wrong assumptions. Though, two, like in the case of Watanabe, if it makes everyone happy, well, no duh. What do those words even mean? Yes, I'm ignoring the ass in the corner. Yeah, it really is funny that their friendship is based off from the obsession with the same person. But since only one of them realistically can get together with her. Okay, fine, you guys can have that one because I paused it when to talk about something else. But you know what? It's good that they can make friends with each other, right? And now they're thinking logically. And Atori gets her chance with Suzu. Uh-huh. I don't think she wants that. You would, but... I was honestly expecting immediate rejection, not confusion. Meanwhile, Yuu and her sister are waiting out there like... Wonder how much longer. I'm getting bored. But it's all worth it, right? Yeah. Okay, the timing of that, though? You often do what for your sister? Wash her titties? No wonder she's a siscon, because you kind of might have led her in that direction. On purpose, on accident, I don't know. Like, maybe Atori has a little bit more of that G word in her than I thought. Either way, Suzu probably feels a little bit violated because she's like, I don't even let you do that. I have further questions. I don't think that's a good idea. the question as to what just got dripped into her hair and the devious reaction of Suzu behind her. At the very least, you're not bathing with a guy, so when something white and sticky drops into your hair, it's not that weird. Hopefully. So I wonder if the other two passed out and forgot what they were there to do. Also, again, bitch at me all you want, but... Sorry, I gotta make the... Nope, fuck you. We're not friends. I'm disrespecting you. Meanwhile, the two idiots were at the wrong end. Dumbasses. Okay, that's a good one. Her still making the jump, but hanging on to Zuzu the entire time while the other two fell. While getting a shit look from down there. She is not good with water, is she? She is not good with water, is she? I was actually about to say something similar. Like, thinking that people that wear glasses can't do sports is actually kind of rude. For various reasons. Because, like, I imagine there's probably a good amount of people that do sports that wear glasses. My only example I can immediately point out is the world of wrestling, because there's a bunch of wrestlers that wear glasses, and much as people might be one way or the other about wrestling, fact is, it's very physically involved, so kind of fits in here. Yeah, she's gonna end up in the same state, but have a little bit more water protrusion. What did I just say? Aw, what? We still caught fish. I don't know if it's dad feels or crushed feels, but hey, sure. Though, just like a dad, she has very bear-like qualities. Impressive. I love how Mizu said literally the same thing I did, which apparently broke her spirit. Probably. You know, she's your best friend and has a crush on you. Do you have to, like, tear into her that badly? Ow. I know I made the reference, but... Yeah, she's about to bear all over you. Wait. But not in the good way. This is not going to go well for them. See, you deserve that. Matter of fact, she's giving you, speaking of wrestling, the bear claw. Oh, hey, look, that note that Atori dropped in her coat before. Oh, hey. Look at that. Now, is she going to realize that she had that in her since seeing Atori the previous night? So that means 8 o'clock tonight. I mean, yeah, she might have lost it, but this time for good reason. Meanwhile, she's waiting. Did you finally find out where she was supposed to be going? She's been running around the entire building for, like, an hour, hasn't she? What did I just say? Oh, 10 minutes. At least it wasn't as bad as I thought. Then again, if she's that exhausted after 10 minutes, she's been fucking gunning it. Do I even... You know what? Never mind. We went through this conversation 1,000 times, how women have a bag of holding in their titties. And she has the cleavage to stick that in there. This is partially a joke, by the way. But this is also anime, so you never know. I thought you were a bad girl, you Yatani. I knew that's where she was going with that. And again, I will say, bless that poor gay woman's heart. She is absolutely dying again. ascending even, just like last time. Yes, actually. Like, very much so. Like, this, like, in a general sense of things, yes. Because, like, listen, 90% of people would feel the same way, accounting they fall into that classification of if they were out with a hot girl doing something that they technically shouldn't be, but also isn't really a harm to anybody unless they do something stupid. It seems like a very good definition of happiness. And, like, listen, I'm just saying, I would love for one of these days somebody I knew from my past to just, like, hit me up on Facebook or whatever and, start some shit and maybe, some amount of happiness could be felt outside of content. Because, listen, content makes me happy a lot of the time, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things about content that make me happy. However, that's not enough all of the time, Like, but you hear enough about that. Like, bless this woman's heart to be able to get this kind of experience. Holding sparklers above your head probably is not the best idea, though. Just saying. That's right. Touch tips. Which, normally when that sentence is said between gay people, it's not... You know what? Anytime she's gonna challenge you to something like that, you's probably gonna lose, because her lasting long with Atori, probably not gonna happen. And yes, I mean that in the exact way you think I do. Right. So these are the last couple months you have left to say something. Oh, actually, I just had a thought. Maybe that's why everywhere else in the world, okay, I can't say everywhere, but like Asia and Europe have more of a grasp on like the age thing than America. Because, like, what if people are in high school together and, a freshman falls in love with their senior? If, it works like America, younger one is still in high school as like a junior or senior, but the older one's in college. Therefore, in America standards, nope, that's an illegal relationship. You can't do that. 17, 19, nope, too much. Nope, 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 time to get arrested. And this is a confirmed thing, by the way. I had a friend who many years ago, back before the world was absolutely fucked, was 19 and had a relationship with a girl that was like 16, 17. I think the dude spent a little bit of time in jail because of it. But, like, the distance is so close together, it's like, why? Maybe that's why the other places that I just mentioned understand it better, because, like, there's only a couple years difference, that's one thing. And yes, do I use that as my excuse all of the time when I call these people attractive? Yes. But it's not like I'm actively trying to date a girl of that age. I'm using the excuse I can to call these ones attractive. Or, in all technicalities, to check out people when I'm at a concert or a restaurant, because I don't know how old someone is by looking at them. So if I'm checking someone out and they end up being not that age, well, I don't fucking know, man. Listen, I'm single. My eyes wander. If you're attractive, I'm gonna look. That's just how it is. Even for people who aren't single do that shit. Those are really fucked up ones, too. What is my point on this? Oh, yeah. At least them starting a relationship and continuing it would be like legal age-wise, because Asia understands that sometimes it just like happens that way. Was Atori's sister just skulking somewhere in the background? Oh, well, it's not an impossible answer for yes, but I could understand that being a creepy image. But here's the thing: Photoshop, background eraser. You might lose a thumb or something, but. Which, actually, before I skip to the after credits comedy bit, I do want to say, Photoshop needs to fucking understand the difference between a person and a thing. Because when I'm using background erasers for thumbnails all the goddamn time, if I, like, do a thumbnail like this, my fucking thumb will get cut off because I'm a white person and have white sheets and a white wall. So it doesn't matter if we're all, like, different shades of a similar spectrum of color. Although humans are peach colored, but obviously Photoshop doesn't understand that either. Regardless. My point being, how the fuck can my, like, human body just get erased regardless? Like, they should understand that is a background. I am a person. Even if I'm wearing a white shirt, they should understand that a little bit better. So, like, Adobe, fix your shit, please. Please. I beg, please. Anyway. By the look on the girl's face, she doesn't mind that aspect. Matter of fact, she might be into it. Okay, maybe she doesn't find her... Actually, maybe she does find her attractive, but the delinquent thing is intimidating. Oh, how nice of Suzu. Okay, she's just the sweetest delinquent ever. See, now, the however is probably gonna be like, the girl thinks that Suzu poisoned them for bothering her on her day off. But my wording is going to be, even though she might still think she's a delinquent, Suzu just suddenly got another fan. Actually, wait. Didn't literally at the end of that bit they say, or the dude said that she got 3 new fans that day because of her, appearance? Yeah. Again, another very cute artwork on display at the end of the episode. Like, the range that the artists, because I think they use a different art every episode, so... But, like, the range of the artists for the after episode pictures is very nice, because sometimes we see super cute and well done stuff like this, and then other times, like in the last episode, you just see level artwork. And yes, that is me making just a very thirsty statement, but you can't say that the last artwork is not nice in that regard as it was intended to be. I'm going to turn that thing off in a minute before I decide whether I'm recording more or not, because I do have 3 episodes left, and if I could just finish it today, that'd be great. But, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. Sorry, I lost track of a statement because of artwork. Yeah, anyway. Another fun episode. 3 episodes left in the season, which is sad that more Yuri Monday stuff will come to an end, but hey, at least that means I can start uploading the cut-up bits onto the YouTube side, hopefully. Otherwise, that means that a lot of money I spent on the YouTube side will go to waste. And if not for the amount of stuff I've done in the very beginning of the channel to help it get to where it is, also the fact of I've bought shirts specific to do reviews with. Now, granted, those things will still get uploaded on the Patreon side, and even if this kind of content just remains on Patreon, that means it will still exist. I'll just have to push it more on Twitter and stuff. But, that being said, I'll quit talking about it now and continue on with the usual stuff for the outro, because holy shit, we're already at over an hour. Alright, anyway, if you have anything to say about the episode, stuff I've said, stuff I've did, stuff the episode said or did, whatever, let me know in the comment section down below, because, first and foremost, yes, I will acknowledge that yes, I'm calling, these girls who are very attractive, and they are underage. Ooh, you're an adult, you shouldn't be lick my cock. Literally, just go. The drawings, they're meant to be attractive, and that is how it is. If I call it as it is, that's literally like calling this remote black with some white on it. It's accurate. Can't really bitch at me for it. Everyone want to call this thing a Pokeball, because it is a Pokeball. Is it something else? Yes. Don't ask. But, yeah, anyway, comment down below whatever might enter your noggin about any of that stuff, or about any suggestions for stuff I should check out. This is next in general, specifically pertaining to Yuri content, or even horror content, because we have, spooky season coming up soon, so I do need some stuff to check out for that. Don't forget, on the YouTube side, subscribe to both the review channel, even if it might die randomly one day just because YouTube finds it funny. And the gaming channel, ring both bells like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky, keep updated with things, TikTok, Patreon, get the full and ed visual and audio stuff that should be uploaded over there, but there are a bunch of cock wranglers. But Patreon, while it has no clue about storage space, at least has respect for people and the rights they have for copyright. Granted, 90% of the time that's just if it's blocked behind a barrier of pay, but sorry, that just is how it is. TikTok is even more like reasonable, so the talk about versions will definitely stay up there because at least they're not whiny little crybabies like some platforms. Go follow Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can do so at Twitch Prime for free, helps me out immensely for the temporary. The gaming channel for the long term, who knows about the other channel where this is supposed to be uploaded on, but again, check out the playlist here. A lot run through of conversations with stuff within whatever. Again, this is just for the red side, so who the fuck knows if this part even matters. Check out the video recommend here. Until next time, Ben the Blazer King with King's Critiques or wherever. So, ta-ta for now.